Mayonnaise is a great base for exploration. You can use different oils to get different flavors or health benefits, but I have heard that if you make a sauce with extra virgin olive oil using a blender, it turns bitter. Is that true? Here's my experiment, making a mayonnaise with good olive oil, with a stick blender, and balsamic vinegar for kicks. Why not? Blend it all up, and what's the end product? Definitely more bitter than it should be. Though you might not experience exactly the same thing depending on the specific olive oil you have, but in this test, yes, I found that blending made it pretty bitter. Mayonnaise at its core is an emulsion, and the term emulsion stems from a Latin word meaning to milk, and milk is indeed a common example of a natural emulsion, fat suspended in liquid, and there are recipes for making mayonnaise with milk instead of eggs, or in this case I'm using milk powder and water. And sure enough, yeah, it works. But the end product kinda just tastes like greasy milk. It's not very good. It's pretty weak. Speaking of weak mayonnaise, Miracle Whip and other light mayos are something of a freak of nature, and truly ironic when you consider that the ingredients literally have labels saying ingredients not found in regular mayonnaise. Having said that, it's worth testing to see if we could create this from scratch. Light mayos have more water than oil and have a modified cornstarch in the ingredients, and in this case I'm going to try adding cornstarch and mix that all in a slurry, and then heat this in a pot to thicken the mixture. Surprisingly, this worked pretty well, and the final product didn't taste nearly as bad as I thought it would. It's passable. If you happen to be someone who likes watered down mayonnaise, there you have it. But what about vegan alternatives? Vegans are people too. I wanted to try mayonnaise without eggs. The key thing here is to look for foods that have lecithin, just as egg yolks do. That's actually what the word lecithin means, is literally egg yolk. Lecithin is the magic substance that binds emulsions together. Liquid from canned garbanzo beans called Aquafaba is a common egg substitute, so I'm sure that works. But it seems to be that most beans have significant lecithin content. Maybe the Aquafaba from a different kind of bean, say pinto beans, could work too. Turns out, yeah, it totally does. So it doesn't have to be chickpeas. Sticking with beans, lecithin is also common in soy and soybeans. So you can use soy milk, and that works too. But like the regular milk mayo, doesn't taste that good. It's definitely missing some of the classic mayo flavor. I also saw that some vegetables, like Brussels sprouts, have some amount of lecithin in them. So here we are trying a few steamed Brussels sprouts. Really curious about this one. Any luck? Not quite. This one failed pretty hard. Now, eggs are a fatty food, so I figured maybe try a veggie with a bunch of good fats in it. I thought avocado. Seems like that might work. And the moment of truth? Yes. This made a really good emulsion and to me was the best tasting of all the vegan varieties. And in one final experiment, I thought I'd test one of the more interesting foods with lecithin, but decidedly non-vegan, fish. Could canned tuna possibly be a substitute for eggs? Sounds promising, but does it work? Yes, it actually does, and it tastes really good. I really like this one. So there you have many ways to amaze with mayonnaise.